Hey, so what if I told you there's a new headphone from Apple which is actually good enough to compete with the Airpods Max? So this thing is actually lighter than the Airpods Max. It can actually fold. It has a better case than it. It also has a longer battery life. It comes with USB-C, and to top it off, it actually is all cheaper than the Airpods Max. So Beats just released this new Beats Studio Pro for $350, and it's going up there with the top of the line headphones like Sony and Bose, and obviously like the AirPods Max because they're also made by Apple. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing, the design. Okay, so the Beats Studio Pro are actually made out of plastic, unlike the AirPods Max, but it is a pretty good plastic. It can bend really easily, it's really flexible, and then it also provides a good amount of time before you get that ear fatigue where like your head will kind of start to hurt after wearing those headphones for a while. That doesn't really happen with the Beats Studio Pro. And so another thing is that the Beats Studio Pro, unlike, I don't know why, but the AirPods Max doesn't fold up by itself, but the Beats Studio Pro does actually fold up, and it can actually fit in a nice size travel case. And talking about the case, it actually is a pretty good high quality case. It's not that like flimsy fabric on the outside from previous Beats, but it is more, it's a new design obviously. It's a squared off case, and it's a little bit more rigid but not rock solid, so it's really good to travel with. And so going back to the design of the headphones, on the left ear cup is going to be all your music controls, which is by physical touch. You can skip, you can play backwards, you can pause and turn the volume up and down. And then on the right side will be your power button to turn it on and off. And then also will be the lights, which indicate how much battery you have left. And so something weird about these Beats is that there's actually not that much branding on them now. On the outside, on the top of the headband, there's no more logo for the Beats. And then it's a little bit more of a minimalist style and design for this headphone. And then also on the left side you'll have your headphone jack, which is kind of uncommon to see nowadays with all the wireless headphones, because a lot of them just want to work by Bluetooth, but I'm happy to see that they actually have a headphone jack in this one. And then underneath the power button on the right side there will be a USB-C port, and that's really good for charging, but it also does have a bunch of features on top of that, so I'll get into that later. But is it me, or is it weird that there's USB-C on this but not the AirPods Max? But another thing to mention is that there are a bunch of rumors that the iPhone 15 will actually have a USB-C port, so hopefully these can work together for the new feature that I'll talk about a little later. Okay, so now let's go into a little bit more comparison just to show you how good these Beats are compared to the AirPods Max. So the battery life is actually 40 hours long without the noise cancellation on, and then it's actually 20 hours when you have the noise cancellation on. And charging is really good because of the USB-C port that it has, and in just 10 minutes you can get 4 hours of listening time. And another thing is, just to take out the AirPods Max, is that it's actually $200 cheaper and has similar, I'll say similar, features to it. Now that all the great features are announced, I'll go into a little bit of the not so great features. Okay, so the first thing that I took note of was that the headphone doesn't actually have on head detection, and you might be wondering what is on head detection. So there's some features with like Bose and Sony. Those headphones actually have on head detection, and it basically just means that whenever you take off your headphones, it will detect that, and whenever you put it on, it will also detect that. So whenever you take it off, it will pause your music for you. And the no on head detection actually does lead to another problem. It goes towards not turning off the headphones. And I'll tell you this, so you could be leaving your headphones on your table or your desk, and it actually will never turn off until you press the button. Okay, another thing that I took note, which was not a big deal, but it was kind of weird to see this, is that this headphone doesn't actually have any Apple chips inside of them. None of the H chips are in it, and it's all manufactured by Beats. And so the thing that's weird about this is that the older Beats headphones used to have the Apple chip inside of them, but now they don't, but it's not too big of a deal because there's headphones that are really good, like the Sony's and the Bose, which actually don't have H chips from Apple inside of them either. But don't worry, the good news is that the Beats Studio Pro will actually auto connect just like any other Apple products. Like, and you know how the bottom white square will pop up on the bottom of your phone, it'll still have that just like any other AirPods. So another thing that I noted down is that the Beats Studio Pro won't actually have the ability to switch from one device to the other. And I'll talk about why that might be kind of annoying for some people. Okay, so let me paint this picture in your mind. You're working at the coffee shop and it's really loud. So you have your headphones connected to your laptop, and then you get a call from your phone. But the Beats Studio Pro is not connected to your phone because it can't be connected to two devices at the same exact time. So then you have to go into your settings on your phone, look for the Bluetooth, and then go to Beats Studio Pro, click on that, wait till it pairs, and then you can start talking to your friend on the phone. So it's just a little bit of a minor issue. Okay, so this is one of the better features that you might be looking forward to in the Beats Studio Pro. So it does have transparency mode, but the thing is that when I tested both of the headphones, the Beats Studio Pro, obviously it's not going to have as good as transparency mode compared to the AirPods Max. So I'd still choose the AirPods Max, but those are like amazing transparency mode. So honestly, this one is just like, I'd say it's great. It's great versus amazing between the Beats Studio Pro and the AirPods Max. But the good thing about the Beats Studio Pro now is that it does have the spatial audio feature, which is really good when you want to watch TV shows or movies. So now I want to talk about the Beats and the Find My app for iPhones and all Apple devices. So the headphones will have a location, but there are some restrictions to it. Okay, so the Beats don't actually have a live location. They won't be updating, which means like they won't be updating live, and they will only show the previous location where you had connected to them. Okay, so let's look at the overview now of the Beats Studio Pro. So the first thing I want to mention is the sound quality. The sound quality is actually pretty good if you like previous Beats. You know the staple Beats sound quality. It will always have like a lot of bass. It does have a lot of bass, and then it also has less mids. So if you know what Beats kind of sound like, you'll probably like this one. But again, it's really great all around. It's just not amazing all around. And speaking about the sound quality, I wanted to go back to the USB-C port. So the USB-C port, whenever you connect it from the port to another phone which does have USB-C, it gives you lossless audio, which is the best audio you can get from the headphones. And it also does allow you to do some EQ changes, which allows you for 3 profiles. There is signature, which is the default one for the headphones, and then there's also the entertainment, which is really good for like movies and TV shows or streaming anything. And then the last one is actually for conversation whenever you're in a meeting or if you have a phone call to take. So the thing with the EQ is that there's not much customization outside of those 3 profiles. Like you can't do any of the higher tones or the lower tones or the mids or the bass. You can't really change all of that, but honestly at this, for a Beats kind of user, it won't really matter that much. Well, to wrap it up, this is actually one of the better Beats that Apple has made in the recent years, but I don't know if it'll compete in the same price range as other headphones. So check out this video right here if you want to look at the Beats versus the Sonys. And let me know what you guys think of the Beats in the comment section down below. I appreciate you being here till the end. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one.